What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video, and in this one, I'm going to be talking about the one and only Tesla stock and break down the price action of Tesla. I'm also going to calculate why I think Tesla is going to run for the next 2 weeks, where on earth the peak may be when this thing keeps running, and when it may actually get that rejection and start dropping again. Now, I know you guys don't like to hear that as of right now because we're finally starting to push up, and I do think we're going to push up for another 2 weeks. I do want to actually inform you about something very important about the price action and why on earth there could be a little bit more downside for the long-term future. Now, before I break any of this down, before I talk about the Fed meetings and why they're very important, and also what Elon Musk just tweeted about involving Tesla and India, I do have to mention a couple of things real quick. The first thing is I'm not a financial planner, so please don't take this as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please smash the like button if you want to see more videos like this. It not only benefits me, it benefits the entire Tesla community as a whole. And the last things, if you guys can, please check out the Webull link down below and in the description. If you sign up for Webull, the link down below, and deposit any amount of money into the account, you're guaranteed 6 free stocks, each worth up to $2,000. And you could always sell these 6 free stocks for cash and use that cash to buy some Tesla shares for free in this limited time offer that ends in just 2 weeks. So please check it out before they run out. With that out of the way, let's get on with the video. So looking at Tesla, okay? This thing's pushing down. It was pushing down for quite a bit of time, and recently we got that nice bounce off 620, right? Very close to my 615 target. We went to 620, and then we started pushing up, and you could see how it kind of bounced around these support and resistance levels quite well. And I want to actually talk about what's going on now, because I believe we're going to push up for a couple of weeks before we get a rejection. Now, why do I think that? What's really going on? Well, look at the SPY. Almost the SPY, the whole market is running in a very collective way. The SPY dropped all the way down to 380, then it got a nice bounce, and it looks like it's going to push all the way up to its gap. I think there's a gap somewhere here, if I can remember, around 427. So the SPY might go as high as 430 before getting some kind of a rejection. It may take a few weeks. Maybe it's going to go even higher than that. I mean, it's definitely possible, but like I said before, I think there's more room for this thing to run for a couple of weeks before something changes. But I want to actually go back to 2008. Okay? Look at 2008. You're going to notice something very interesting. You zoom into what happened. The market dropped for like 2, 3 months. Then we were kind of sideways and pushing up for about a couple of weeks. No, this is like a month and a half. I'm sorry. So the market was sideways and kind of pushing up for a month and a half in 2008. And then what essentially happened was we dropped again. You could see we went from 103 all the way down to about 60. And for about 2, 3 weeks, we went from 60 all the way up to about 81. Then we dropped again down to 60. Then for about a month, maybe a couple of months, we pushed all the way up back into the 80s. Then we drop again, push up for a couple of weeks, drop again really hard before we push up really hard again. So what I'm trying to say is when we drop, there are going to be those temporary relief bounces, and that's what I think the SPY is showing right now. So what I think is going to happen is I think that we're pushing up. We're showing so much momentum. If you look at this from a technical perspective, the MACD is flipping with that 9-day moving average. Nice push. We got that 1348. 1348 EMA crossover. We're about to test the 200 EMA on the 2-hour chart. We're doing better, and the whole market is essentially moving and pushing up at the same time. Now, if we look at Tesla, what you're noticing is I have these two Fibonacci charts right over here, and this is significant because this fib level shows the 50% retracement mark at that 883. Also, we have that 944. So I think between this range is where we're going to peak at, and I believe we also happen to have this gap fill, right? This big gap right over here at the top left corner. See this gap that's right here? It would take Tesla all the way up to 858. So 858 is not that far from that 883 level. So I would anticipate that Tesla's headed towards almost $900 pretty darn soon in this temporary relief rally. And I am pretty darn bullish for next week. I think we have some gamma exposure. If you actually look at the options chain, doing a lot better. We got a lot of calls that ended up in the money, so it's a very, very good sign. It makes me quite excited too. But from what I'm seeing is, I think that we're essentially in a position where we're starting this temporary upward trend, but we do have this gap down, which is a signal we are going to start dropping soon. So, what's going on? When are we going to drop? How high are we going to go? I wouldn't be surprised if we go as high as 883 to 944. Those are the two key fib levels. And I think we might get a rejection off that or around 944. So we have a lot of room to run, in my opinion. I think the market has been so oversold to the point where it wants to see some relief. Excuse me. And I think that's what Tesla is going to do. Now, the thing about this is look, we have another June Fed meeting from the 14th through the 15th, and we might get another 50 basis point rate hike. Okay? So be on the lookout for this. This could be the time we see some kind of bearish momentum because it depends on what the Fed ends up announcing. It also depends on the fact that they did mention that they're most likely going to raise the federal funds rate by 50 basis points again in their minutes. So that could be something you need to be looking out for because when the Fed makes these moves, it is not necessarily good for the stock market. It slows down our economy even more to address inflation. So, what I would estimate, and this is just my prediction, take it with a grain of salt, I could be completely wrong. I want to mark this date, okay? That would be June 14th. Maybe the 15th is the big day, right here. What could happen to Tesla is this. So, the market's closed on Monday, remember that, for next week. But when Tuesday, all those days come, Tesla might slowly kind of push up and up and up like this, all the way up to that 884 level. I'm sorry, 883. And I do think that might be the top, but if that's not the top, we might go as high as 944 or around that range. That's quite bullish. It's very possible Tesla might actually push that high because we do have some gamma exposure. Then we might get a rejection. And going into the FOMC meeting, we might start this push down. We might continue to just come right back down to these levels and fill this gap that's right over here. Tesla did form a new gap down here, so we might see a move kind of like this. So I want to warn everyone about this because moves like this are common and they're typical. And I want to let you know that we don't have to worry about that just yet because next few weeks, right? We have a lot of room to run, in my opinion. We have a lot of gamma exposure. Market makers do have to most likely hedge their positions by buying back a lot more shares. Things are looking better. It's some temporary relief. The SPY is going to push up, so be prepared for that. I just don't want to show you guys one picture and say it's going to explode, and cause people to think that Tesla's about to go to all time highs. No, I don't think it's going to do that. But I do think we have some relief, so we should enjoy it. Play options if you want based off that, and be careful. Secure your profits, take them quickly. Don't be a bag holder when it comes to options because that data could destroy you unless you're holding leaps or something else like that. But you understand my points. Be very careful with your trades if you're a long term investor. Okay. If you want to just keep buying, you could buy on a little bit on the way up, but I do think there are going to be a lot more buying opportunities for the future. Stay strong. Don't worry. Things are looking good. Now, as for Elon Musk, he did announce something very important. Okay, this person known as I can't say their name, Mundu, whatever they stated. They stated that. What about Tesla? Is Tesla manufacturing a plant in India in the future? And Elon Musk responded, Tesla will not put a manufacturing plant in any location where we are not allowed first to sell and service cars. So that's, it's the uncomfortable truth. He said politics is a sadness generator. Then this person responded, you're not wrong, Elon. Working to change a positive, unifying third party doesn't judge and brings people together. I mean, you could think whatever you want about that. It's cool. I understand. I think this was a separate tweet. I'm sorry about that, but you understand my point. He mentioned this. I think I wasn't supposed to read that second tweet, but you understand my point. Okay. At the end of the day, they are going through concerns right now. They're working with a lot of regulators and politicians. Um, Elon Musk did later tweet about the fact that politics does get in the way of things. So as of right now, there are some struggles going on in India when it comes to this potential expansion, but it doesn't mean it'll never happen. In the future, things can change, but as of right now, this is how Elon Musk responded. So you understand what I'm saying? He said they're waiting for government approval for Starlink, for Tesla. Right now, they're just dealing with these issues. So yeah, it's a little sad, but it's okay. Things can change in the future. It's a-okay. And regardless of that, the future is very bright for this company. I see Tesla going to thousands of dollars a share in the future, in the long term, based off their growth, production, and so on and so forth. So, anyways, thank you. Enjoy the weekend. I wish the best for each and every one of you, and I will see you guys in the next one. Tesla to the moon, and peace out.